long for happiness, free for suffering, yet they do not know where true happiness lies. They seek pleasure in transient things, only to find themselves caught in the endless cycle of birth and death. But I tell you, the root of this suffering is ignorance, the inability to discern the real from the unreal. In the realm of duality, what is it that binds us to this world? It is Maya, the great illusion, which makes us mistake the impermanent from the eternal. As I have said, Maya is that which brings forth this entire world of names and forms, obscuring the underlying reality, just as clouds veil the sun. Because of Maya, we fail to recognize our true nature. We identify with this body, this sense, these fleeting thoughts. But how can that which changes, decays, and dies be our true self? No, the body and mind are not who we are. They are merely coverings, like garments that we wear for a time. The body is a product of food, and it grows and decays. The senses are also instruments, responding to external stimuli. The mind is fickle, always jumping from one thought to another. None of these can be the self. The Atman, the true self, is beyond the body, beyond the mind. It is eternal, unchanging, ever pure. But how do we come to realize this? Thought viveka, discrimination, the ability to see clearly what is real and what is not. This discrimination is like a jewel, rare and precious, for it leads us out of ignorance and into the light of knowledge. To begin this journey, you must ask yourself, what is the nature of the world around me? Everything that you see, everything that you experience is in constant flux. As I have said, that which is impermanent, that which comes and goes, cannot be real. The real is that which remains unchanged, unaffected by time, space, or causality. Look at your own life. The body you inhabit now was once a child's body, and one day it will grow old and wither away. Can that which change so drastically can be the true essence of who you are? No, the Atman, the Self, is not subject to birth and death. It is pure consciousness, eternal and infinite. But this realization does not come easily. The mind, clouded by desires and attachments, clings to the unreal, to the pleasures and pains of this world. Thus, you must cultivate vairagya, detachment. You must learn to let go of your attachments to the external world and turn inward toward the self. As long as you are caught in the net of desires, you will continue to be bound to this world of birth and death. Only through renunciation can you cut these bonds and realize the Atman. But renunciation does not mean giving up action. No, action is inevitable while we live in this world. What we must give up is the attachment to the fruits of our actions. Act without desire for reward, and your mind will be purified. It is the attachment to the outcome of actions that, that binds us, not the actions themselves. Perform your duties with detachment, as a service to the divine. When the mind is purified, knowledge arises, and the self is revealed. The path to liberation is not easy, but is attainable through constant practice and perseverance. The first step is to seek out the guidance of a realized teacher, a guru. Just a boat needs a skilled helmsman to navigate through stormy seas, so too does the seeker need a teacher to guide them through the treacherous waters of ignorance. Only the one who has crossed the ocean of samsara can keep others to cross it. The Guru is the one who has realized the self and is free from all attachment and delusions. The Guru points the way, but it's the discipline who must walk the path, and the path begins with self-inquiry, asking the question, who am I? Not as an intellectual exercise, but as a deep contemplative process. Strip away all that is not the self, and what remains is the Atman. The body is not the self, for it is inert and perishable. The mind is not the self, for it is fickle and full of desires. The self is what reaches beyond both body and mind, pure consciousness, eternal and infinite. When you know the self, you know that you are one with Brahman, the ultimate reality. Brahman is beyond all names and forms, beyond all dualities. It is the source of all that is, and yet it is beyond creation and destruction. Brahman is existence, consciousness, and bliss, infinite and indivisible. It is beyond the reach of the senses and the mind, but it can be known through direct experience. This is the highest knowledge, the knowledge of non-duality. In truth, there is no separation between you and the world, between you and Brahman. All is one. The dualities of pleasure and pain, success and failure, birth and death are mere illusions. When you realize this, you are free from the bondage of samsara. You are liberated. The one who has realized the self is free from fear, free from sorrow, free from desire. They are like the vast sky, untouched by the clouds that pass through it. This is the state of moksha, liberation. It is not something to be attained in some distant future. It is here, now. If only you have the eye to see it, the self is always present, always shining, but is hidden behind the veil of ignorance. Remove that veil through discrimination, and the light on the self will shine forth. The self is like the sun, always shining, but hidden by the clouds of ignorance. When the clouds are removed, the sun shines in all its brilliance. This is the message of the Vivekachudamani, the Crest-Jewel of discrimination. May you too cultivate this jewel and realize your true nature, the Atman, which is one with Brahman.